Welcome at PASC23 on stage. Here we discuss usually the mini-symposium, a summary of what is happening in the mini-symposium. And now I am with Matthieu Simeoni.
Right.
Welcome, Matthieu. So can you tell us about your mini-symposium?
Sure. So my mini-symposium is about high-performance computational imaging across scale, modalities, and communities to be in line with the theme of PASC23. And to tell you a bit about the motivation as to how it came to exist, I need to define a bit what computational imaging is, because that may be some things that people are not so aware of. So computational imaging is the subfield of imaging where computing is perhaps as important, if not more, as sensing. So essentially it could be some kind of microscope where instead of looking at the raw data, you improve it via some deblurring, so that's kind of the basic instance. Or it can be even more complex than that. It can mean, for example, data that you collect about a scene which does not look like an image and that you have to interpret via computing. And the interesting thing is that it's really a booming field of imaging because of the compute power that we have nowadays. But surprisingly, the advanced techniques that are being proposed in the literature are not reaching yet the customer or even like the applied imaging scientists. So we don't see these new technologies being leveraged much in production imaging pipeline. And this is, of course, a problem, a bottleneck for the field, because there is a significant slowdown in the adoption of novel techniques. And so what this mini-symposium was inviting the audience to do is to rethink a bit what the default image processing pipeline should look like in order to allow for these new technologies to be more easily adopted in the standard pipeline of an imaging scientist.
So after the discussions and the presentations, what are the main take-home messages?
Yeah, so our focus was mainly on the architectural design of imaging software. So what we have observed is that in the past, imaging software were mainly designed as monolithic entities, which were doing some kind of prefix function from the data to the image, and were, because of that, lacking flexibility to incorporate new features. What we have isolated during the mini-symposium is that actually microservice architectures would be also more interesting, because instead of providing one single entity, you provide a bunch of many decoupled software components that can be combined together afterwards to produce some more flexible imaging pipelines that could adapt to one scientist to the other, essentially.
So to keep the momentum that you have gained during this conference, what are the next steps? Yes,
so very good question. So actually, this is only one of the initiatives that we lead at the EPFL Center for Imaging, where I work as a head of the image reconstruction hub. And so many of the things that we are doing first at the EPFL community is to try and evangelize such outcomes to the students, to the staff of EPFL via training sessions, for example, summer schools. But also we try and bring this vision at the national level. So we have a lot of interaction with Swiss partners, and we are trying to build a sort of competence center a collection of competencies surrounding imaging that would be beneficial not only to the EPFL community where I work, but really to the Swiss community of imaging and beyond. So this is one part of what we are trying to bring to the Swiss imaging community.
What was the thing that you liked most of the PASC conference this year?
I really enjoyed the keynotes, which were really amazing. The one from yesterday about what was the future of exascale computing and the link with AI was very inspiring. I also liked the first keynote about anti-patterns, which I think are extremely important to be aware of in science, because, even as an established scientist, sometimes we do fall in such anti-patterns, so I found them extremely exciting. And of course, the venue and the location is also great.
So thank you very much, Matthieu.
You're welcome.
See you next year, perhaps.
Hopefully. Thanks.